Hello everybody, welcome to Faithful Friday. This is Stephen E. If you are new to this channel, one of the things that I want to talk about today is the law of attraction. And if anybody out there has studied the law of attraction, you know that like attracts like. And they did a video on it, the law of attraction. The secret is actually the law of attraction. And they had many teachers, Lisa Nichols, Bernard Beckwith, Rhonda Byrne, Dyer, and there's many other teachers of the law of attraction. Plus, you know, what I do on this channel is law of attraction when I talk about, you know, working on the mindset. And if you've never seen this video, I would suggest that you get the law of attraction video. But one of the tools that I want to talk about is the belief part. You know, you believe who you are, and when you believe who you are, it starts to show up in your life. But sometimes that tool doesn't necessarily work for everybody. So belief needs to also coincide with the work, with doing the work that you want to see come into your life. You be the reflection of what you want to see into the world. So you got to constantly believe it. You know, visualizing it is one thing, but you got to believe what you're visualizing. Like if you're visualizing that you're a doctor, see yourself as the doctor, wake up in that role, see yourself helping people and curing people and stuff. You have to believe it with your core, because visualizing is one thing, but if you don't believe it, then there's a disconnect. If you're not putting in the work to get towards there's a disconnect. So we want to connect the pieces that aren't connected in order to get power to your manifestation. So, you know, visualize, believe it, see it, and start to put the work in doing it. So that's actually 4 things. So, you know, once all the plugs are in, you got power. You know what I'm saying? Once everything is plugged in, you have power. So then, you know, then you are an attracting magnet. Everything that you're looking to show up in your life is just going to start coming, and you're just going to start seeing it and like, wow, you know, I was just thinking about that. I was just working in that direction. I was just doing it. Because for some people, it does show up kind of easy, you know, as they just think it. Sometimes you could be thinking about somebody, and then all of a sudden the phone rings, and then they're on that phone. They could be actually a person that you weren't thinking about in a long time. Like probably about several months back, my mother got a phone call, and she was talking on the phone. Now, I didn't even know who she was talking to, but I had something told me in my mind it was a cousin of ours from North Carolina. So I said, how's such and such doing? And she was like, how did you know that was how she was on the phone? And I said, well, I was just thinking about her for some strange reason, and she was on the phone. So, you know, so sometimes, you know, the belief part and the thinking part does work without necessarily the doing part. But if you wanted to have a powerful charge, you know, connect all those parts together, plug in all those ways, so, you know, you can attract more greater. Because I know there's a lot of people out there, they're miserable, and I can, miserable, hurt, in pain, lost, and I can attest this on, I was on somebody's YouTube page, and I was watching them do a recipe. It was on SoulfulT, a matter of fact. So SoulfulT, you know, I'm mentioning you here, and SoulfulT was doing a chicken salad, and I hadn't had a chicken salad in a long time, and I said, you know what, that's a good recipe. And she also did a vanilla lemonade, and they do these at Chick-fil-A, and I've only been to Chick-fil-A probably twice since Chick-fil-A has been around. So she did that also, and she did it with the lemonade, and she did it with the vanilla ice cream. And I said, you know something, I had wondered if you could do it with lemonade or lemon, because I was kind of worried if the milk would curdle, because I know one time I ordered a tea with lemon in another state. Matter of fact, I was working in Spring Valley, and the delivery guy brought it to the store along with some other things for the staff, but they also put milk in there, and it curdled. So I was kind of worried, but I saw how she and a few other people made it work. But I said, you know what, I'm going to try that recipe. But somebody left a nasty comment below, you know, to my comment, and said, I must not have taste. And I'm like, I must not have taste. And I'm like, why? But they never answered. But I kind of processed their comment, and the old me from way back in the day could have went postal on that person or got into these YouTube fights and stuff. And I see, you know, what Miss Carliss and SoulfulT and a few other YouTubers are talking about, where people can be nasty for no reason whatsoever. You know, I'm allowed to have my experience, and, you know, so is that person. They're allowed to have their experience. But my thing is, if you don't like what she's saying, if you don't like what I'm saying, if you don't like what the next one is saying, there are a million YouTube channels to choose from, so pick one. But I'm not going to block you. I'm not going to give you energy towards like nastiness and all that, because that's not what I want to put out into the world. I got to reflect what I want to see out in the world. So if I want to reflect love and kindness and all that stuff, then I have to, if I want to see that in the world, then I have to start with me first. So, you know, I just wish that person well. I wish them some blessings, and I just hope, you know, eventually they get into a better place. You know, that's all I can hope for them. You know, it's not my responsibility to change them, but it is my responsibility to reflect what I want to see in the world. That's my responsibility, and my responsibility is to help someone, but it's up to them to change. Because sometimes we take that on as people, like, I'm going to change this one. And I spoke a few weeks ago about, I saw that on a talk show about a woman trying to change, like, she got married and she was like, I'm going to change this one, and I'm going to change this husband, I'm going to change that husband. I'm like, it's not your responsibility to change anyone. It's their responsibility to change themselves. Now, if you're acting as a help, you know, for them, or a guide or anything, that's one thing. But for you to say, I'm going to change them, you're fighting a losing battle. They got to change themselves. They got to work on themselves. They got to be willing to put in the work. Now, if you're sitting there advising them and giving them advice and something else, like I said, that's something else. But you also got to be careful about the advice that you give to people. Make sure that, you know, you don't necessarily have your own agenda at hand when you give advice, and make sure it's like coming from a place of love and a place of, you know, being neutral and all that, but not putting a person in a place of pain. Because, like I said, you have to just be careful, because sometimes some people give advice and they have their own agendas at hand. Like, sometimes when you're in fights, you know, necessarily, and you're in disputes, and then there's some people that are in your life that just like to keep drama going, and they'll sit there and tell you, don't speak to this one, and hang up on them, and I go over there and confront them, and I give them the business and all that. But me, as a good friend, I'm like, you know, see if you can work it out, as opposed to destroying something. But if something's not healthy for you, then I would say, you know, then you have to do what's best for you. You have to put yourself in a healthy place, and whatever that looks like, you know, that's what you have to see, and that's what you have to work towards. But be very careful, and, you know, in SoulfulT and Miss Carliss, keep doing what you guys are doing. You know, I see that people can be hurtful, you know, on YouTube, but, you know, just pray for those people and wish them the best. But you two keep doing what you are doing. You guys, you know, you guys are excellent at what you guys are doing, and, you know, don't let anybody diminish your light because they have a problem with themselves, or they have something on themselves that they need to work on. But don't let them diminish your light. You keep doing what you guys are doing. You guys keep going towards your goals. You guys keep letting your light shine. You know, keep showing love and all that, because Miss Carliss, you have definitely shown some love to me. SoulfulT, I really don't know you, but I've been on your channel and I like some of your stuff on your channel. But you keep letting your light shine, and like I said, you keep moving forward. And that person, if they got something nasty to say, let that be their problem. Don't let that be your problem. Okay? It's an awesome Friday day. The weather has cooled a bit, which I am glad, because it was hot yesterday. That was the purpose for that ice cream a couple days ago. But that ice cream, I could use one today, but I'm not gonna have one today, because I need to start watching my health and just not flooding my body full of junk, especially in the summer weather, because that could be so easy that you're so hot you're willing to put anything in. But I know I'm going to be drinking a lot of water this summer for me, you know, because, you know, the body is made up of mostly water. So, you know, I'm going to be having a lot of cool water this summer. Everybody stay blessed. Have an amazing weekend. And as always, I love you all. And let's do this on Monday.